Hey,
Hello.
what's this music you got playing?
What is it? Indeed.
Oh, I can't even.
I,
Oh, nice.
Vienna Philharmonic. I heard
Okay.
it somewhere earlier, and I've kind of been listening to it on and off. It also shouldn't be like a copyright problem because it's like old classical music. So often when we do the lives and there's a music playing in the background, they get like copyright strikes and like you can't monetize it because it's someone else's music.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess they want to make money off it too.
Yeah, that I don't care about, but sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of sound in the background. For me, it probably is annoying on the other end. I don't know.
No, I like it. I actually, and I'm probably maybe I'm saying his name wrong, but when I was a teenager, I used to listen to Chopin a lot.
Um, yeah. I'm trying to think of how you properly say that.
I always said Chopin, but I'm sure.
Something like that. Yeah.
Look, again, I'm not a cultured person, but my mom is very big into classical music, and she had all these composers works on a set of CDs she'd gotten, and she told me you need to listen to classical music when you're doing your school or whatever. And hello, someone saying J Deep,
Yeah.
but
Hey, what's up, guys?
she told me I ended up listening to Chopin or whatever his name is, Chopin is kind of how it looks like, and it was the darkest, like stormiest sounding, depressing of all of them, and she was like, "Why, out of all of them, did you choose that one?" I said, "Because it just sounds more like me. I just really, really like this one." So it was just kind of
Dramatic. That's awesome.
yeah.
So, what local urban legend did you come up with? Because I didn't give this any thought outside of like 2 hours ago, and I was at work and had a couple of friends who like look up stuff with me. So I'm curious as to what.
So I ended up going kind of not necessarily it's semi-local, and also I did something that's more um kind of something I can relate with a little bit. I was considering doing the Wendigo or the Skinwalker, and I went with the Skinwalker because you and I live out here in Utah, and not too terribly far from the old Skinwalker Ranch. And
Where's Skinwalker Ranch? Where's that?
holy, you don't know about the Skinwalker Ranch?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I've heard of
Um,
Skinwalker, but that's it.
so it's out there kind of by Roosevelt. Do you know who Roosevelt is?
Sorta, yeah.
It's south. It's kind of southwest or southeast. Um, JD says, I love me some classical music. Yeah, it's nice. It's great to listen to, I think, when you're trying to do art as well. But yeah, the Skinwalker Ranch is a ranch where some kind of crazy stuff has gone down. People have seen stuff. Supposedly, there is like a hilltop on that ranch where it glows at night. So some people think that there's alien activity. A lot of people have been there and sworn they've seen ghosts. One thing that everybody talks about is because and I might butcher this story because I can't remember exactly, but somehow either part of it or some of it might have been built on Native American tribal grounds, maybe even burial grounds. And so they talk about how there might be skinwalkers out there. And a skinwalker in indigenous lore, specifically Navajo, which there's a lot of Navajo out west here. They believe that they are witches who can turn into like change into any animal. Um, and so they can change up how they look. But one kind of interesting thing about them is they always look really creepy if they're not in animal form in anybody's depiction of them. So I thought I'd do something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep, thought it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I didn't know any of that type of stuff.
Yeah, growing up, I learned about we pronounced it Wendigo, but some people pronounce it Wendigo. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I thought it was just Wendigo, but that's what
Yeah,
I didn't.
those are similar, only that's one. The Skinwalker is a witch who, upon becoming a witch, turns into a Skinwalker and then has a power to become a Skinwalker. Whereas the Wendigo, they become possessed after committing cannibalism. So,
Jeez.
yeah. What about you? What are you drawing here?
Well, yeah, your urban legend sounds way more interesting than mine. Sorry, just a couple. Oh, Chuck says sounds like Jessica might be out his way. Well, Chuck, me and Jessica both live in Utah, only about an hour away from each other. Where are you at, man? Uh,
Uh,
Mark
that's
says hey. Sean Franklin says hi. Uh,
hello.
so, oh, he's in New Mexico, so that's close-ish. Yeah, yeah.
But you've heard of Skinwalker Ranch. It's like famous all over the country.
Right.
So I'm surprised you've never like heard it, I guess.
I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never heard much about kind of the lore or anything like that.
Okay.
I was like, oh, it's just a legend, and it's like Native American burial grounds. It's always Native American burial grounds. It's a bad thing, right?
Dude, don't mess with the freaking burial grounds, dude.
I would never. I would never mess with.
Sure, Rob, sure. Sorry, go on with what you were saying.
So I didn't know of any, so I did a Google search, and there's a Bear Lake up here. Well,
Oh
there's
yeah.
urban legend that there's a monster in Bear Lake. So I'm like, oh, what's the description of it? It's really ridiculous. So
What's the description of the
just that
monster?
it's some kind of like water monster with a head that could look either like a cow, an otter, an alligator, or some other fourth description. It was like none of them made any kind of sense. Or a walrus, It had spines on its back. It's totally fabricated bullshit, of course. But I was like, all right, some kind of like lizard monster.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Fabricated bullshit. Why do you say that?
Because even the article says the place that the the legend the kind of started from, the guy who started it flat out said that it was a bullshit he was making up, but the legend kind of just hangs on.
Oh, well, that's fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that one then.
Right.
Mm.
Someone says he's going to try and do Puckwudgie. I don't live in Massachusetts anymore. That's where I grew up, but I really had discussions about urban legend. Never even heard of that.
Aqua G.
Puck.
Sounds familiar to me. I don't know if the pronunciation is right there. But it does sound somewhat familiar. Now I'm like wondering.
Chuck says, I love ancient aliens and urban legends and myths, all that stuff. Free stories to steal that no one can sue you over. That's a good point. That's a.
Yeah, that's true.
But I literally have no idea what this creature would look like, so I'm just making up nonsense on the fly, and I'm sure it'll look stupid.
That's all right.
But
I'm sure.
it's a Utah monster.
Hey, you know what? That counts.
So I mean, whoever goes like, "Oh, Utah's got interesting stuff."
You know, Utah does have a lot. I'm not okay. Truthfully, I'm not the biggest Utah fan. I know I live here, but um, and you know, everybody says I'm sure most people would agree that I'm the lame one, but I prefer the Midwest to Utah, of course, probably because I grew up there. Um, do you like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, Sean Franklin?
Negative.
Um, I did grow up as a young girl in the 90s, so I cannot say that I have never owned or loved NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, or Britney Spears. However, I was never a big NSYNC fan as much as the Backstreet Boys. But as of today, I wouldn't say I'm a fan. Like, I would never go see their concert if they went on tour, like everybody was talking about. None of that stuff. But interesting question. This is starting to look a little bit like what people say the Loch Ness monster kind of
I'm
looks like.
sure that's probably what's going to probably end up being very similar to. So, because what do I know?
I don't know. What do you
I
know,
don't know anything. That's the problem.
Robert?
I don't know anything.
Like Jon Snow?
Hey, Mark. Glad to see you made it. Yeah, we started talking a little bit about it.
Yeah, yeah. Mark, are you drawing along then? I'm assuming someone's saying is. Oh yeah, he already said he was doing the
Yeah.
pudgy.
When I was trying to come up with something at work, this girl I was talking to, I was like, "What does Utah have as far as urban legends?" And she's like, "I don't know. You could do something about uh, the polygamous and have like one dude and multiple wives and make it like a creepy monster thing." I'm like, "All right, that's weird, and maybe I should."
But it has to be a legend.
That's why I was like, "Well, it's not really an urban legend. That's like real."
That legit happens.
Now my monster's already looking like a giant phallic like cock monster.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that.
You're like, yeah, you were like, you were gonna deny it, but then you're like, no, okay, yes. Courtney's joined up. Mark says, yes, I'm working on Mary Buck.
Booth.
She's a classic jilted at the altar type ghost from the 1890s or so.
I have heard of her. Yes, yes. Isn't she? Is she the one that's also known as like the lady in the white dress? Am I wrong? I know there's multiple ones of that, but she kind of started it. I think maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Ooh. Should I give my skinwalker
Oh, what?
a little
Yes.
dingling here in the middle? I don't know what are you allowed to say anything like that on? YouTube.
Oh, I'm all for it. You
Give him a little nutsack and cock. That someone's saying says it only takes someone to retell your story for it to become an urban legend. True.
Well, there we go. I need to go make up a story then, and
Okay, so Mark says, famous in all southeastern Wisconsin, but comes from my hometown. Tales about her are very inconsistent, so making up my own spin on it. I'm pretty sure I've heard of her. It sounds very familiar. Hello, Courtney. What's up? Trying to decide how mine's gonna look outline wise. I just realized I only gave him 3 fingers. What is wrong with me?
the skinwalker is can have as many fingers as you want.
That's true.
I'm realizing only now that I shouldn't have chosen this thing because I can't draw animals at all. And
What are you talking about? It looks fine.
it looks like a giant bannock, and I'm already knowing that I'm going to turn him into exactly that. I already know what his legs are going to look like. Big, round, rolly things. I know that it's the only thing I can do is to make it entertaining me like that because
You're definitely doing it different than I would have, which is what's kind of fun about these, you know, is the whole doing things differently than the other person would have. I think my skinwalker is kind of gonna have like a Voldemort type nose.
so almost not a nose.
Yeah, like the old snaky nose. That's what I call it. Decided to do the Saturday night live.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I said I'm excited to do the Saturday night live.
Courtney, are you on there? Are you still on board for that?
She's just like, nah.
Fuck you
Not
guys.
listening to you guys today. You don't even know your urban legends.
Right? Chuck, what joke? What was a joke that we're gonna get you canceled for? I must have missed something.
Oh yeah, I must have too. They're actually coming in fairly fast, and then I'm blind from seriously 2 feet away. Apparently, I never. I went shopping today. My husband does like Amazon sales, so he goes to like antique stores and stuff, and does like book sales and stuff like that. And why do I want this guy to have dreadlocks? Chuck is inking a Rob page.
Hell yeah.
Rob's like, continue on.
I can't wait to, yeah, right. I can't wait to show, a couple of those off on the channel. He sends me bits and pieces of them here and there as he works on. I'm like, oh my god, these look so cool. And I should say, he's not. I don't think he's in the chat, but there's a Dan Goodwin who joins in the chat. Do you remember that
Oh
name?
yeah.
He does that. I've put his comics up on the channel. The Sundays in Space. His name's Doghouse.
Yeah.
Handle. He hit me up and he saw one of the full pages that I had completed or I had drawn and Chuck had inked, and he's like, "Hey, for your birthday, I know it's late, but." He's like, he was gonna pay his colorist to color that page, just
Oh,
to
that's
just
awesome.
as so you could see what it looks like. I'm like, so he's like, send me a high resolution version. So So I'm really excited to see that thing. That's really
Mhm.
really like another one of those like unintended like side effects of the channel. A very generous gift, for somebody to be like, hey, I want to do this.
That's seriously sweet. Now, a color is kind of hard to come by, at least good ones.
I mean, I think there's a lot of good colorists, but they rightfully so want to be paid for their work. And I'm like, in a comic, like getting it fully colored
Expensive.
that's a whole other gig. And then printing in color is a whole other thing. So I'm like,
No, that makes sense.
yeah,
Right.
Chuck, I thought about it. He says I should have told him, would have sent the full file, but the one you sent me come in pretty high resolution. I mean, I looked it up on the computer and it seemed like it was high enough resolution. I sent it. He's like, yeah, that'll work fine. So I mean, I think it should be fine. My monster's fun. He's throwing up the devil signs. You see that shit?
Wow.
Both hands. Because he's just going to be
A jerk like that? I'm just kidding. You should have like some boaters going by and he's just like tipped their boat or something.
yeah, I'm already going to apologize for this monster I'm drawing here.
Why are you apologizing? It looks good.
Well, but do you see what I'm making him?
What are you making him? Oh my gosh.
He's got big, round, bulbous legs. They're bent. Chuck, the only legend, quote unquote, is if life offers you a job. And Chuck has said how he's been through that, where he got offered a job and then he never, Mr. Life will never followed through on it.
Well, that's shitty.
Jai Deep says a metal rocker serpent would make a pretty good character, right?
Especially
And
if you have like a ball sack for.
Mark says, Rob about to demonetize his own channel. Hey, this is a snake with like human legs. They're just bent at the knees, got little feet down here.
I was like quickly changing it now. We know for drawing. Stop pretending.
Chuck says he was better off. I would think so. I would think if you had a choice of going to Extreme Studios or Wildstorm, I think you definitely got the better gig. Be interact with Scott Williams on a daily basis, as I understand what you were telling me. Oh my gosh, this stupid monster of mine. Yeah, see? I'm just saying this thing. Oh, this monster. I'm not saying I'm not taking it seriously,
But you're not taking it seriously.
there's this
It's
stupid
like
thing.
you don't even care about your local urban legends.
If we're being honest, that's 100% true.
Yeah, since you had to go look online for one. I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's so great. And somehow I got this expression on this stupid lizard's face. It looks like he's kind of happy, which I like.
Why
Oh,
is he so happy?
because he's a giant dicks lizard. Oh, I can hear your little baby.
Yeah, she's sleeping here.
Oops.
Just kind of, you know.
Was your husband able to drag big crate out of the overhead?
Oh, hold on a second. My light is definitely broken. But there's like a glare on my paper. He hasn't even done it yet. He's like, okay. He's like, why do you want that thing so bad down? I mean, like I think I've told you before, it's way up there. We have a really tall, not a big garage, but it's tall. It doesn't have
Yeah.
a link to it, so it's rafters. And so we put it up there because it's somebody else's. And he's like, why do you want that thing? I was like, because I said a while ago we were gonna do this thing. I was like, and we never did it. I was like, so we need to try to get it down. And when he knows when I say we, I mean him.
He is your husband. That's how this works.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, well, when I go out there and do it, I will. And he's supposed to get the garage done by this weekend. We need to have it done because I am not clear to actually exercise, and all my stuff is out there in the garage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you need to go get that done. Anyway, long story short,
Too late.
he's just, yeah, I know, right? After I told the long ass story, but anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark, we're talking about the unboxing. For anybody who's listening and gives a crap, quite a while ago, um, Jessica told us that she has like a box in the overhead of her garage of comics that belong to the owners of the house. And I was like, well, what's in the mystery box of comics? And you're like, I don't know. I said, well, wouldn't a live unboxing just to look, just for the fun of it, like what's in here? Maybe there's something interesting. And then we joked like maybe there's an evil curse in there and we shouldn't unlock, we shouldn't open it. But so it almost happened once or twice, but you got, because like you said, it's way up in the overhead, and you were even like, I'll get up there and get it. And you're like 8 months pregnant. I'm like, you absolutely will
Ah,
not. you you will not be crawling up there because I will not be getting a message of, yeah, Jessica was climbing a ladder, 8 months pregnant, and fell, and well, the end.
yeah, no, true. I mean, that's fair. I knew I probably shouldn't be doing it, but everybody wanted to see. I mean, it's really the actual local legend is the stinking box in my
You're
garage.
right. Actually, now that you say that, yeah, that should have been our. I just draw a box in the overhead, and it's a mystery box of evil,
To be
and
fair, I've never seen inside the box, but my husband said that's what was in it when he put it up there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of like comic books. So then that's how he sounds too. I always change my voice to make him sound like boo, boo. And then he I was telling him I want to do this. He's like, well, what do you think that they didn't want to see those? I was like, well, what did you say they're comic books? I said, yeah, I think that's what they were. But then he said it looked like something in particular. They told me. I was like, he doesn't really know anything about comic books. Not that I know that much. I was like, is that really what was in it? Because now he's kind of acting like it might be something different. Still kind of would be kind of on par with the whole art thing without.
It's kind of just a fun thing to do at this point. You know what I mean? Even if it turns out to be nothing related to it, we've kind of talked about it and built it up. Like, let's see all together.
Yeah. Yep. So,
But it puts a pain in the ass on you with, baby and family and husband, and like, oh, go drag this thing out because Rob keeps bringing up for his stupid YouTube channel. It'd be fun to do this. If your husband says, oh,
I
Rob,
want
just
to do
fuck
it.
right off, that's fine. I 100% understand.
No, no, he's gonna do it. He's going to do it.
All right.
Because now at this point, he said he was going to, and he still hasn't done it. So.
You just tell. I know how we can get it down in the next 5 minutes. You just tell him, honey, until it's down, you are cut off. So
Well, he's been cut off for, over 6 weeks now.
say it's going to be another 6 months. So
Yeah.
you
Need
like,
it done immediately. And suddenly it's just like sitting in our room here.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck says Geraldo did a 2 hour long special ages about Al Capone's vault, and at the end there was nothing in. I know. I was actually thinking of that exact thing, and I was kind of vaguely aware of that, and I just know the joke for anybody who watched the movie Titanic when they even make a joke about that when at the beginning of that movie when they pop open the safe and there's nothing in it, and the smart ass guy's like, boss, the same thing happened to Geraldo, and his career never recovered. So
That is true. He does say that.
but I'm saying it'd be funny to pull it down. There's like we joke like what could be in there. I was like, watch, there'll be like porn in there, and you're like, oh, we unboxed that live on TV. Great.
I hope not. Although
I kind of hope that just because it would be the greatest thing to have you like, oh my god, just look what's in here.
there also is like a weird ass giant wrapped canvas out in the garage that we have to keep too. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
I
god.
watch this, but like, guys, come on. This is kind of ridiculous. It's seriously 4 feet probably wide and probably 6 feet tall. And it's like they've wrapped it in a tarp and then it's just kind of chilling in there and it's stapled together so you can't just like pull a piece up and look and see. And they've got it kind of in the wall in between the studs and then like a couple of like metal brackets to hold it in place. And
Jeez.
I'm like, what is this that you couldn't take it with you, or that like it's so important you have to keep it here where I live? It's just ginormous. And when we were doing our inspection before we moved in, because it's a rental, so we were with a management company.
Yeah.
The management guy joked, he's like, it's probably a giant nude of them or something.
Right.
I thought, probably. This is so weird.
That's even just as intriguing. Like, just personally, I'd have to like, I gotta know what's in this thing. I gotta pop it open and see what's
I'm
just
more likely
you
to
know.
do that.
You what?
I am likely to do that stuff. Like, I don't really worry about it too much. He worries. Like, my husband's like worried, like, oh, it's not ours. Like, that's not, we shouldn't be touching it. We shouldn't be. He even said that about the box. He's like, well, it's not ours. Like, what if they found out that you did that on your channel? And I guess your channel, not my channel, but you know what I mean.
It's our channel.
And I was like, the chances of them seeing that is crazy. And I'm not going to take anything out of it unless, I mean,
Unless
there's
there's a vintage copy of Superman #1, then we're all gonna. I'm. I'll be right over to steal it. Just kidding.
but it's just, yeah. Let's
Yeah,
see.
but I mean, the box of comics thing. It's just like let's pull it down and pop the lid and see what's in there. It'll go right back. Like you said, you're not trying to.
That's what I said. I'm like, I'm not gonna like do anything. I just want to see what's in it, like pull some stuff out and see, especially if there is a lot in there. That'd be really cool just to go through it. JD says, I think Mothman is pretty badass looking cryptid. Yes, absolutely. I thought about doing him because I did grow up nearish to Ohio. I think the most famous spotting of him is that I think it's called like Silver Bridge in Ohio. But I didn't really grow up by there, so I was like, eh. But yeah, I think he's really cool. I really like this interesting uh lake monster here.
Hey, this is a dangerous monster.
That's true.
It can get you in all kinds of trouble if you're not careful.
Good point.
I'm
I mean, how I know?
trying a giant mutated giant trouser snake. Oh yes. Um, well, the concept was urban legends. There's this lake up here in Utah called Bear Lake, and there's supposed to be some kind of like snake monster with spines on it. And that's what I started at. Once I got the crooked little shape of this head here, I was like, I already know I'm going to make this a giant water dick.
And so he did.
Yeah, yeah. because then it instantly became more interesting because I'm like, I'm not trying to make up some fake stupid thing. Now I'm like, oh, now, well, it is a fake stupid thing, but now it's more interesting.
Okay, okay. You know.
What, you don't care about the fake lake monster from
To be fair, I didn't know that was the thing. I've been to that lake,
Me Too?
but did not know that. No. Interesting for sure.
But doesn't he look happy? I mean, look at
He
that
does
look on his face.
very- Dude, you know what is it's really creepy? Have you heard about the weird tombstone? It is in a graveyard. I know it's called a cemetery, but I like calling it a graveyard in Salt Lake. And I've gone and seen it myself. It just says 666 taken by the beast.
Shit.
Yeah, I went and seen we went and saw it for like Halloween or something one year, me and my roommates. That's kind of creepy and weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. I don't want to mess with the devil.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
This monster. Chai Deep saying this thing should be called a ball snake.
A ball snake?
Perfect. It's not a ball sack. It's a ball snake. I got chased by the ball snake. He was really happy. Threw up the devil's horns. Listened to metal. He was awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Illustrator Comics is hi there. Let's getting to draw while I hear both of you. Keep it up. Um, Mark's asking you, Jessica. What are you drawing? I know you've already mentioned it, but for those who are late.
So I'm drawing because um I have Native American roots. And so I am drawing this particular I'm doing the Skinwalker, which is kind of a Western. Um, not really from where I'm from, local legend, but since I live in Utah and there's a lot of Navajo natives out here, um, I decided to go. And one I was saying I was going with that kind of similar is the Wendigo or the Wendigo, depending on how you pronounce it. I was gonna do that one, but I've drawn them before. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do the Skinwalker. So that's what I'm doing. And since we're so close to Skinwalker Ranch, as I was explaining earlier, kind of went with local for me.
Right. Mark says, I watched Thanksgiving yesterday, recommended horror movie. I know what that is. Isn't that the one that started out as like the fake trailer to the Grindhouse movies? And then they actually made it into a real one. That looks awesome. I gotta check that out. Someone says Jess opens the box, the mystery box, to discover that comics label actually denoted her serial killer landlord's pickled tongue collection taken from comedians.
Oh my gosh, I would freak out and also be excited to be living a true crime.
You would love that, wouldn't you?
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. Uh, John says, so Jessica is drawing a politician? Exactly.
Zing.
Um,
Wiley J draws says Texas also has a train track where the ghost children push your car across if you stop on the tracks.
oh,
Damn,
wow.
I don't need no ghost children pushing me around. I'll kick their little prepubescent ghost asses.
Have you ever wanted to live someplace, though, that was haunted?
Yes, because I've never experienced any kind of supernatural anything ever, and then to hear people like, "I totally saw this thing," I'm like, "All right, I don't believe you, but okay." So I'm like, I want to see this. I want to experience it for myself.
Yeah, I think I've never, okay, I've been places where it's been haunted for sure, but I don't think I've ever lived someplace where it was. I think that would be kind of cool. Just, you know, just to see what it was like.
Just
Probably.
to see if I can literally have my soul sucked out of my body from demon monsters. That would be cool.
Okay, I said haunted. I didn't say like a portal to hell place, you know. Even though we joked the last place I lived was a portal to hell because I never had cell phone signal. And there was a weird thing, okay, because I lived this last place I was a rental too. There was a weird imprint from where they took something down that was circular around a tall doorway in the house, and it looked like a pentagram. Like it really did. And I thought, were there devil worshippers here? Skinwalker versus Wendigo fight to the death. Who wins? Um, well, the Wendigo is possessed by demons, and is demonic. And the more people it's eaten, the more powerful it is. But the Skinwalker is a witch and can become anything. So that's a hard one. Mark says, "You believe in ghosts. My brain doesn't. My heart does." LOL.
Oh shit. Chuck just says he emailed me a progress shot. Good thing I got out my second phone with email access so I could look and show it live on TV. Holy shit, I'm excited.
Woo. Drum roll. I don't know how to do a drum roll.
Oh man. Let's see.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of different, obviously, like anything else, people come up with all kinds of ideas for how they look. Um,
Check it out, Jess.
okay, let me see if I can see this on my. Wow.
Yeah.
I really like this image of his face, that close up, him looking at
Yeah.
it. I really like that. Wow, that's really good. Chuck did the inks for that, right? That's what
Oh yeah.
you're
Yeah,
saying.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, those look super good. That's wow. The texture on the trees too. That
Yeah.
is really seems like not a big deal, like a just a detail, but it really makes it feel like you're in a forest.
And my sketchy pencils were more of just like, I mean, it's hard for me because I'm not used to doing like finished pencils. I always penciled so roughly because I just finish it myself. And I'm like, I got to start like making sure I'm making my stuff clear.
Yeah.
Um, but he's nailing it like every time, of course, because of course.
Yeah, that's pretty it's pretty incredible. Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say you guys do make a good team. I was telling Rob it was really when he sent me the first ones that you did, Chuck, it was really weird for me because not like I'm the only person, but I've watched him for a long time do these pencils and inks himself. And so I'm so used to his style of it. And so at first I was like, this is really different. This is super different than his inks. But as I've seen him more and more, I would agree with what Jonathan is saying. I think you guys make a super great team. Like they're coming at I love the way Chuck does hair.
Yeah.
It looks so good. And I don't know, not that yours were never good, but it just looks so realistic.
No, no, please. Like I get it. Like it's a whole new kind of um dynamic kind of look to my own stuff. I'm like, oh, this just becomes suddenly way more interesting to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sorry, I'm just staring at it because again, this is the first time I'm seeing them. I'm like, oh, that's what I do with these. I end up staring at them for long stretches of time.
That's fine. Don't even.
That's what you should do, right?
Do what you gotta do. If you need to be alone with the
I
picture,
might need to
just
have
off
right.
for it.
Chuck. You said two. I was gonna say, yeah, I think you said the same one twice. I was like, did I miss something?
Oh, why is my 2-year-old crying?
Because your 2-year-old wants mommy.
That's probably not true. He's not really a mama's kid. He's 100% a daddy's kid. No, but those are really, really great. Pretty sweet stuff.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, a clearer shot of that bottom panel where it wasn't cropped out. Oh, so good. Look at that boy fist. He's a buff, handsome mother effer.
Let me see this. I'm like having to look. Oh yeah, I see that his head's not inked yet, huh?
Yeah, it's not
At
finished.
first I was like, what? It's hard because I'm trying to look at my computer. My computer is behind, like the actual stream is behind you and I's video that we're doing here for me. So, and I can't really see it on my phone, so it took me a
Yeah,
second.
I understand. Yeah,
Wow.
Chuck, they're looking amazing, man. I can't tell you. I mean, I don't want to sound like too much of a kiss ass, but I will. Like I was worried. I'm like, am I sending him kind of a boring page? Because it's kind of like it's not an exciting like action punchy page, but it's like building up to the emotional core of the scene. And I'm like, God, it looks, it's so cool. Oh my God, I'm gonna stare at those forever. Courtney's back. Courtney. We were asking earlier if you were going to be on board with the Saturday quadruple stream on Instagram. I don't want to use the word four-way, but I will.
And then you didn't answer. We realized that maybe you were gonna stand us up.
You're like, oh hell no. Chuck says there are no boring pencils, only boring inkers. Oh my God, that's got to be like.
Put that up and on your wall.
I was gonna say, Chuck, if you ever like do conventions or something like that, and have a booth, that needs to be on like your name, and it says that under it. Oh my God, that's really. Well, Jonathan says, yeah, Chuck takes Rob's work to the next level. We need a whole comic of this art team. Well, he's helping me with several pages. So, in my next book, which he's helping me get done, there's going to be several in there, and then we'll see. I mean, we will see. Courtney's saying she's sick right now. So maybe the Saturday get together.
Maybe. I guess y'all just let us know. I guess if you're sick, we can always try for the next week. I don't know what John's schedule is.
Yeah.
No, we're doing feet here, apparently. Oh, hell yeah.
Daniel Goodwin has joined up.
Hello, Daniel.
I've even altered my way that I'm approaching drawing my pages in the event I send them off to Mr. Chuck to ink, because what I did is I went out and bought a whole pack of 11 by 17 like copy paper. So it's this really thin junk stuff. But I
Yeah.
do like my rough pencils on these, and then I can light box them with regular pencil onto the final board and make them cleaner. Hopefully, is the idea.
Mm-hmm.
This bottom panel here, I mean, it's certainly not done, but that one was taking a lot of time to figure out the positioning of all these figures, or all of them. There's two of them, but
I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah, that one I saw earlier, I thought was looking really good.
Down angle, and then sitting, and then lying across each other, and hands interacting. I'm like, oh, this is complicated. And this page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 panels on it, but I got to have the character moments for these guys building up towards the end. Thank you, Courtney. She says he loves that last panel. I gotta really nail it to get that one done. Make it work. I gotta nail them all, really.
I'm sure you will.
RD Blade. Okay, the cold walking with zero context just made me loud at an audible gasp. D-Man is on the bus watching this.
So my daughter woke up and she is. There we go. Do I want to ink? Do I want to get the stuff out to do that?
Do you still using like brush and stuff like that?
What'd you say?
You're still using like a brush and a dip, like a
Yeah.
dip bottle of ink, which
I was. Oh, sorry. Go on.
which I certainly suggest is something good to use. But I also would say get one of these Pentel pocket brush pens. That's what I just inked my thing with, and it's so easy just to pop the lid off and get a nice brush tip and just ink with that. It's a nice time saver for, you know.
Okay. I think you were talking about this maybe on our last stream. Maybe not the last one, but one of them. I think you had suggested that. I just have
Yeah.
not done that yet.
Courtney, she says, how do you find good references for poses like that? I always struggle to find poses with angles like that. Well, for this one, I just drew it out of my head. I didn't try to find reference because sometimes it becomes like a bottomless pit you never get out of looking for poses. You'll find 1,000 things that's everything but the one you want. So the way that you find a way around this is like it started for me learning from there's that book How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, which teaches you just how to do basic stick figure construction and angling these stick figures in a position that you want just by simple like lines and bubbles just to start practicing putting these shapes in a position that you want, like that, for example. And then you start learning to like, now you're going to make these cylindrical shapes to start fleshing them out a bit. And then you start constructing a figure, because honestly, if you're going to draw comic books, I was going to say you can't reference everything. That's not true. There's artists out there that absolutely do it. But if you want to draw anything on like a timely manner and have it more dynamic and interesting, you need to be able to learn to draw a figure, kind of like this cylindrical construction method to pose a thing in an angle that you want, and you just start just doing it over and over, just a stick figure, and have it throwing a punch or wrapping its arms around something or drinking a cup of coffee. You just draw over and over and over, and eventually it starts making sense. And then you supplement that with you supplement it if you can do photo reference drawing, draw from life, and then you start combining the two. Um, Someone saying says that's the book he started with. I assume referencing the How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. And Chuck says it looks better if you could pull it out of your hat. That I agree with. That's what makes the comic art interesting, is if you could, because you make it dynamic, and it doesn't need to be anatomically correct as much as it needs to be clear storytelling and interesting and awesome to look at.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Like Chuck is saying, photographic realism doesn't make very dynamic comics. Neil Adams could do it. Yeah, that's the thing. There are some people who can pull it off. Alex Ross, who does paintings, when he first started, I was totally enamored with the stuff that he did, especially on Kingdom Come. But it starts to look a little more flat, or not flat, but a little bit lifeless-ish, because human beings don't do these things comic book characters do. It just doesn't work that way. But that's why they're comic books. That's why we like to see this dynamic, interesting, superheroic fighting action stuff. They're awesome and they're cool and they're sexy and they're scary, and that's what comic books are.
Sorry, I had to. Yeah, I don't have any of my micron pens anywhere, so
Yeah.
not gonna lie, they end up getting used a lot as regular pens by my kids.
Yeah, I get that.
So that happens. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
I would think, like, in my mind, like, oh, you'd want to reference any pose that you weren't sure about. But
I mean, there are times where you can get stuck and you're like, I just do not know how this goes. So you can get reference, but then you can see how a thing is posed, but then you don't be slavish to it. Don't, like, this is the only way it can look. You make it like, how does this arm tuck into, or how does that hand do this? But it's it's a combination of both. But like Chuck just says here, it's not supposed to be real. It's supposed to be better than real. And that, yeah, exactly. Corey,
hmm.
helpful. Thank you. I want to practice more with dynamic poses, but I'm also super anal about anatomy in my drawings, so I got to find a balance. Yeah, that's fair. And some artists just, especially some comic artists, just are so natural with it. Just pick it up and just come up with the most amazing stuff, and then develop that skill. Somebody mentions, or John Buscema. He's so good.
Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but my father-in-law was talking about, growing up reading comic books. And he was saying that he feels like comic book artists take anatomy way more seriously than they used to. Whereas before it was more, they would do ridiculous poses that just could never really happen in real life. But he said nobody cared because it was, that was kind of the fun of it. But I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, sure, there's a little truth to it.
He grew up reading them like me, you know.
D-Man says that Rob Liefeld Captain America comic was hilarious.
Is that the one with the dinosaur wars? Or was that something different? Oh, that
This
was
just
Deadpool.
went up today.
Oh.
Yeah, because in the book that I'm talking about, I mean, it's a Captain America. So Captain America, of course, has a shield, and drawing a shield straight on is just a circle. But if you're drawing it at an angle, it's hard to get the right, like, angle on it to make it look right. It's tricky. It takes a minute, and like I'm trying to like do like a quick, like, make something look like a curved shield, and his looked like flat, warped, oblong nonsense. And it's just so I kept referring it to the shit shield. And so somebody was saying, Rob, you got to do a Captain America Rob Liefeld parody comic and just call it Shit Shield. I was like, oh, that sounds great, actually. But it's hard.
Right.
Shit Shield. Someone says Buscema is one of my favorite all-time artists, thanks to Savage Sword of Conan. Yeah, it's one of those things where if I look at it too much, I'm like, I can't draw at all. I look at that, I'm like, I'm nothing, so I'm just gonna give up.
I might have to take her to one of the other people in this house. She is
Wait,
not.
fight.
I will be back.
All right. Yeah, and Chuck saying 3D models are great for stuff like that. Perfect. Yeah, like have a 3D model, get the angle you want, throw down, the basic shit, and build awesome stuff around it. But don't draw like you don't give a shit. Oh, wait. D-Man says, Rob Liefeld is proud of Creative Cable. He wants to put them everywhere. That's true. Very, very true. Jeez. Be aware of how you feel right now in this exact moment. At least he actually drew it. Chuck says there's a story in my pocket about Youngblood #5, I think it is. What do you mean by that? You have a story in your pocket? Because I did that Youngblood #5 that the other guy drew, and I'm like, why couldn't? It's one of the worst comics ever drawn. It's drawn by a chap who became a lot better. It might have been one of his first gigs, but man, was the none of it made any sense. D-Man, you don't like riding the bus? I don't think I've ever ridden a bus past high school or school. I don't use public transportation. I have a car because I'm fortunate enough to be able to. Corey, do you love this song? I mean, it's so calming and awesome, and it won't get me demonetized for the stream, so people can't copyright Beethoven. Yeah, Jonathan is on the back of Brigade 4. The last issue of Youngblood miniseries didn't even get its own book. Yeah, I went off on that one just because the storytelling made no sense. Youngblood 6. So when he restarted up the series after taking a break, had Shaft have a eating disorder and all that fun stuff. But what do you mean? What are you referring to, Chuck? Let's rock, bad rock, right? Yabba dabba doom. Oh, Shaft on a motorcycle and several panels that Rob didn't draw, and all of the panels with backgrounds are drawn by someone else. I believe that completely. Now I can't wait to look at it again. Jonathan, you say that Liefeld was so ashamed of it that he drew a new Youngblood 5 for the Joe Casey rescript in the early 2000s. I need to find that because I've never even seen it. So that would be amazing to check out. Because as I said in my review on the Captain America one today, Liefeld doesn't draw backgrounds because he can't. He cannot do it. It takes time, and when you're drawing your lap board all day, you can't grid out buildings and stuff. So yeah, Mark, you're saying your issue with flip books. Okay, I'm pulling on my Youngblood books. Oh wait, now I got to go to Brigade. Chuck, yeah, he doesn't know perspective. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it's like. I mean, that's what I kind of assume it is that he doesn't know how to do it. I'm not any kind of expert on it. I have a rudimentary kind of basic understanding, but good lord. Jessica, did you return?
I did.
Did you hand off the baby to others?
Yeah, to my husband.
Yeah, I figured.
But she needed to eat for a second, so did that. Oh, I just messed this up.
Sweetwater helps music makers make more music. How? Less time.
Advertisements.
What's that?
The old advertisements there. Oh, you've moved on. I see you're done with your water monster.
There was nothing else I could do to the old um, ball snake.
Ball snake, yeah. That's fair.
Courtney's got to run.
Bye, Courtney. Get to feeling better.
Right?
Let us know about Saturday.
Yeah, I'd kind of. There's nothing more I could do to the ball snake. It would just get more inappropriate the more I started adding details and other fluids and.
Oh, you should have had it like instead of breathing fire, because it's kind of got a dragon head.
Yeah.
Could have breathed other things.
Oh, like what? What are you referring to?
I don't know. I'm just
What
throwing
are
out.
you talking about?
I'm just throwing out ideas. I don't know what I'm saying.
Mark, what are you talking about? I got to see if I can sneak in the corresponding anatomy. All right, okay. With my monster, I get what you're saying. Yeah, seriously.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I better surrender this thing now because
Boys.
it'll just get more graphic, and then the subscription count will start going down. Unsubscribe,
Or
unsubscribe.
will it go up?
It might. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Hadn't even thought about that, had you? Should think I want to bring this down a little bit.
Jonathan says milky vomit.
Oh my gosh.
No way, gross. That being said, stop encouraging me, guys, because I could just get that drawing right back out.
You could.
Yabba dabba ballsack.
Oh my gosh.
Just say you're working on character ideas for a heavy metal story. I mean, right? Thank you, Jonathan. That's correct.
Wow.
And I had to move away from it.
Fair enough. Can't control yourself.
No, I cannot. I've got importanter things that need attention.
Fair enough, I suppose. So when are you and John doing more movie reviews?
Just whenever I can get his dumbass over here to,
Yeah.
I think Big Trouble in Little China is going to be the next one because it's so good. It's funny.
That's true. Agreed.
If we're going to be obnoxious assholes, talk about a movie, just laughing until we're coughing over the humor. I'm like, well, that's a good place to start, or continue rather.
That's true.
One of the greatest movies ever made. See, Jonathan agrees.
It is really good. I've only seen it maybe twice, though.
Jessica.
I know.
Watch it. Me and my brothers would watch it on over and over and over as kids. We just nonstop. Like we didn't understand how unique it was because it's such an odd combination of weird genres that don't make any sense. And we just liked it. But then you get older and you start putting it into context.
Yep.
All right, Jai Deep. Good for you to stop in. Thank you for stopping in as always.
Thank you. Have a good night. Don't. Oh my gosh, just add a 0 to that watch. I know. You
Bro.
times, huh? Dude, I hate trying to ink things. I'm gonna chalk it up to the fact that I don't really have any good tools. I'm just gonna put it that way.
That's why.
Yeah. It's not that I am horrible at actually.
D-Man, everyone's not leaving, just 2 people.
Nobody's by leaving. I just got here. Ooh.
Like, oh god, D-Man's here. We gotta roll.
Yeah, I was saying maybe there's a pattern there. I'm just kidding.
I know I've said this before, but it'd be fun if you and I could do a movie review. That would be hilarious. But it would be like, what would be a good one?
You and I, or you and D?
Me and you. Yes.
Um,
I originally suggested Deadpool, but I'm like, well, that won't work because you've never seen it. So you'd be watching it fresh for the first time, and I think it would be more interesting if we're gonna like talk about it. You have to have seen it, you know, as
that's
a
true.
it's a commentary, not a reaction, which would still be fun. A reaction thing would be awesome.
I thought about watching that the other day, and then I wasn't sure. I was like, well, I thought you had said we weren't gonna do that, so I didn't watch it. Or sorry, I thought I'd watch it, but I thought, oh, I don't remember exactly what we had discussed.
Yeah.
But yes, it would be fun. I don't know. I don't know what movie. I'm trying to think what would be a good one.
But yeah, I want to get together with my brother and do another one. We had, even just for our entertainment. Like we had a good time just sitting together, just laughing our stupid asses off, making duck puns that made you chuckle.
Oh my gosh, that was great.
Instead of earthquake, it was earthquack. You said that you laughed.
Oh, this is gonna be hilarious. That's when you know when the puns are coming in, and they're just so stupid that you're like, okay,
Right.
they're so stupid that they make you laugh. It's gonna be hilarious.
Someone said, let's be real. The people who have those first time channels most likely have seen those movies before. I mean, I guess some of them. I do watch a couple reaction channels and I enjoy them quite a bit. And, I think that the ones I watch are being legitimate about it. I hope.
I have no idea. I don't watch too many. I watch reaction videos lots of times to songs, like to music. Like
Yeah.
people supposedly never have listened to metal, listening to, you know, uh, Cradle of Filth or something for the first time, which is hysterical. But maybe they are faking it. I don't know.
When like I watch this, I've seen this one where there's this chick who says that she's a rocker girl and she's got tats and she likes music and she's like, I'm listening to Metallica's, um, you know, one of their earliest songs ever. Like I've never heard this before. Like, how have you never heard this? You
What
know,
song was it?
God, for whom the bell tolls.
No, are you fucking kidding
That's
me?
what they were saying.
Everybody that song, even non-rockers. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I know.
I actually love asking people who wear Metallica shirts what their favorite song is. And if they say Master of Puppets, I'm like, you're a fucking liar. You do not like Metallica.
You're like you're a fucking liar.
Like, that's just the only fucking song you know. Sorry, that's my opinion. For those of you who really like Master of Puppets, it's a great song, but I'm just like, when I worked at I worked at a bar once, a couple of them, I guess, technically, but this one, the amount of girls that come and wear Metallica shirts, and some of them yeah, they were legit, I'm sure. But sometimes I'd ask some of these girls, "Oh, what was your favorite? What's your favorite one?" Sometimes I would actually play their favorite song on the overhead if they would tell me what it was. Just always uh, with this stupid Master of Puppets.
Chuck says, I like their version of Last Caress. I don't even know if I know what that is.
I think I have heard that one. I actually don't know that I know that one either. I always liked their Sanitarium song or Homecoming Sanitarium.
Yeah.
One I always liked, but it's actually one of the first ones I ever heard, to be fair. I also like Fade to Black, which is fairly popular, to be fair, as well.
Yeah.
But it's just funny to me. They actually, well, they didn't, but there's some symphony versions of their songs, which are really good too.
Like when they're playing along with the symphony, or just
Just the
complete.
symphony does theirs, versions of theirs. Pretty good stuff. What metal song do you think is the best metal song ever? Hands down.
Oh God, I'm terrible at that because I can never narrow anything down to this is better than everything. You know,
Yeah.
you ask me what's my favorite TV show, or what's my favorite movie, or my favorite band, or my favorite artist.
Mm-hmm.
It just varies. Depend, like I might like this one thing right here today and just be enamored with it, and then like next week, like, oh, but wait, but this, you know. uh,
Yeah.
God, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer.
Diary of a Madman. Oh, I don't think I've ever gotten that answer before. By
Every Dire of a Madman by Ozzy. All right, I'm gonna have to look that up just because I don't. If I've ever heard it, I mean, I've probably heard it, but I just don't know the name.
see, and I think it's Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden.
Oh wow, so you do have a. This one is the best one.
Um,
You have one that you're at least pretty damn close.
yeah, I think it is. That's my opinion. I just think the instrumentals are really untouchable, in my opinion. And the song is badass.
I'm gonna have to. I'm to check these out now because I'm always looking for something new.
Led Zeppelin. Okay. I will say, I don't. Daniel Goodwin says I'm not a metal dude. So, Daniel, what is your favorite genre of music? Or do
You know,
you have
it's not
a favorite?
metal. I mean, to me, metal is just a version of rock and roll. You know what I mean? But I know there's subgenres. But like, so you don't like metal, but is there like a rock sound or band or group that you like? Because some of my favorite bands, if I had to break it down, Korn's always been one of my favorites. I've been to a whole bunch of their concerts. Um,
Mhm.
Aerosmith has been a long stand. Um,
What's your favorite Aerosmith song?
what's that?
What's your favorite Aerosmith song?
Dream On.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh, I
and
thought
they've
maybe
done a bunch that
one
are
thing.
great. But
Because
Dream On is, yeah.
all right.
I can listen to that. It's like timeless. One of those timeless songs to me. That's just like, yeah, that's maybe the best one they've ever done. It's one of their earliest too.
Yeah.
SSJSS Gecko says we're more of a Billy Idol fan. That's
Billy Idol. Okay. All right. That's nothing wrong with that there.
is he even still alive?
Yeah.
Mark just messaged separately on the Discord saying that he got banned again.
Dude,
It's
what is the deal with that?
so weird for him because it happens every stream somehow.
That means he can't rejoin.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. For whatever reason, he can never join back up. It's so weird.
Someone sane says I'm a bit late on the comment, caught up in the drawing. In eighth grade, my class sang Metallica's "Nothing Else Matters" as a farewell song. That's awesome. That is one of the only songs I can play on guitar. Actually, is "Nothing Else Matters." I can't play the full thing. I should.
D Man says Billy Idol over Billie Eilish.
Yeah, no kidding.
I actually don't have a problem with Billie Eilish or however you say her name. I had heard of her forever and I knew nothing about her. And then the first time I heard her ever sing was that last James Bond movie that she did the opening like music to. I was
Mhm.
like, all right. Um, she's got a really soulful voice. I'm like, okay, I get the appeal. I'm not buying any of her albums or anything, but I'm like, all right, she can sing.
Yeah. I mean,
You sound very not convinced.
I guess I'm just the worst.
um,
I don't like very much music from the days. Although I will say this, and I'll probably get a lot of backlash for this. I actually like Machine Gun Kelly. I went to his concert when he was
yeah,
here.
you do. I knew that, but I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Yeah, I do. I
There-
do.
That's all right. I don't know anything about him, but
A lot of it has to do. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but believe it or not, at least one of his songs that ended up being a huge. I don't know how to explain it, but it ended up kind of helping my marriage out a little bit. So I kind of ended up getting into him because of that. So,
it's all right.
I have my,
Whatever connects, that's all that matters.
yeah.
You remember there was that song by the Black Veil Brides that you sent me, and you said, it's been several months ago, and you're like, this song just made me think of you and the situations I'd gone through and that type of stuff. You remember that one, whatever it was?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep.
I listened to it a couple times and I liked it, but then my YouTube channel or my YouTube account kept like recommending it on like mixes because at work I'll just play mixes and it takes music I listen to and puts it on there. So it kept putting that in there, and it
Uh-huh.
kind of became something I listened to all the time. And so every time I'd hear it, I think of you know
Really? That's
you and how you brought it up, and I'm like, I like the song. I dig it. It kind of became part of my just automatic playlist because the YouTube kept saying, "Hey, you listened to this a couple times the other day. Do you want to hear it again?" And so now it's on the playlist. So
no, that song, and now the name of it escapes me. But oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. But yeah, that song to me, um, that one kind of meant a lot to me for a while because they came out with that song many, many years ago. It's been like 8 years. And then, so I used to listen to it all the time. And then I was listening to it not that long ago because they re released it with that video. And
right.
that's when it kind of, I was like, oh, that reminds me of Rob. Now I'm like, which,
I'm trying to search it up. I can't remember the name of it either. I knew it if I
and
saw it.
yeah, no, I feel like, how do I not remember this? Because this, I will say, again, probably get a lot of backlash for this. I love Black Veil Brides. They are one of my favorites.
Yeah, Chuck says if I want to listen to music on YouTube, I do it in a private window, or YouTube bugs the shit out of me with the name with the band for the next 6 months. Exactly. Yes, that's exactly what happens, and I gotta pay attention to that. That's for real.
It's Lost It All is the name of it.
Yes. Oh, geez, you're right.
Yeah.
That, uh, Antoine Dennison says, "Hello, folks. How you doing? Steel traditional art. Yo, yo, what is up?" Dan Goodwin says, "Music is powerful for real."
Matchbox 20 has a favorite Rob. Yes, it does.
What's his name? I know it. I can't think of it.
It's gonna come to me here in a second too. Oh, I can't remember his name either. Why am I struggling so much tonight? I really am struggling though. To look up his name too.
Not tomorrow.
You watched one video, so must be all you ever want to watch ever again. Yeah, Rob Thomas. Yeah, that's his
Yeah,
name.
right. That was the one we were trying to think of.
Yeah, that's true.
Vanilla Ice is another famous Rob. Hell yeah. I like Vanilla Ice. I don't care what anybody says.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's funny.
Nothing wrong with vanilla. Are you playing that in the background now?
No.
I was like, that sounds like it.
What you're talking about?
Dude, it's badass. I know I have a horrible crush on him, but I just feel like he does not get enough um credit for his voice.
Right.
Cool as Ice is one of my favorite movies to just throw on the background. It's so bad it's good. I
I got to look up the Riff Tracks version of Cool as Ice.
know.
With these hands I shook the heavens to the ground. I laid the gun to
Just a great song right there.
I held the key to the
Hmm.
king's garden castle.
Yeah, it kept coming up on my playlist for a long time. Then it kind of stopped, and I'm like, wait, what happened to that song? It was
I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, it really did. I thought, not to put this all out here on YouTube, I thought this really reminds me of like everything you've been through in the past, really, 5, 6 years.
yeah, it's a stretch of suck.
Hmm. I need to learn how to draw characters that don't have long hair. I feel like I only ever do.
Really?
It's true. I realize that as I'm doing this one.
Just said the. Did you see what he just said?
Huh?
You said you need to learn how to draw people with shorter hair.
Yeah.
So Jonathan says, Mr. Clean Drawing Challenge next week.
Oh, oh my gosh. Yes, let's do it.
Oh my God! Everyone draw a bald guy.
Gosh,
Oh God, that was funny.
that was funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did not see that comment till you were reading it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, he's Mr. Clean slash Lex Luthor. It's Professor X. It's Terry Savalas. Anyone knows that actor? He's old and dead and forever ago. Patrick
The
Stewart,
Captain Picard.
Captain, right?
I've never finished it. I know. It's coming up.
How dare you interrupt my thought of telling you that I wish you would watch Picard season 3 before I even get a chance to make fun of you for it?
I knew it was coming. I was
That
like, God
was
damn.
hilarious. I literally was like, should I mention it again? I shouldn't. And you cut me off.
I knew you were going to. I said, God damn it. Why did I mention it? Like, why did I bring that up?
God,
What is wrong with me?
that was perfect. I was totally going to do that. Destro, right? There you go, Dan Goodwin. Bad Rock is bald as well. Yeah, he's Is Howie Mandel bald these days? I haven't seen him in a
Oh,
thousand.
yeah, he's been bald for a while.
I haven't paid attention to him, so I don't know.
Wow. You don't even watch Deal or No Deal? I actually don't think he does anymore.
Deal or no deal. You're correct.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't do it anymore anyways. I don't even watch Deal or No Deal, but I've seen commercials for it recently, so it came up.
Oh.
I do not like game shows at all. At all.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't. Unless they're reality type game shows where, you can become Chef Ramsay's head chef or something.
Oh shit, Antoine Dennis. Everyone's listing bald actors.
Really? Steve Harvey. Jada Pinkett. Oh my gosh.
Careful, Will Smith is going to show up at your door.
They
And
put
smack
Jada on there. Now Will Smith's gonna get us all. Oh my goodness.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Out your fucking mouth.
Oh.
Oh, Will.
There's this great meme where they have like Will Smith saying that, but he's telling it to that guy that supposedly has been banging his wife, and he's like, "Keep my wife out your fucking mouth."
Oh, I have not seen that.
Oh, and it was so great because Ving Rhames, hell yeah.
I started watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with my kids.
Yeah? Are they
Yeah.
into it?
Oh, they thought it was pretty good. We're doing that. We're watching Monk. I don't know if you've ever watched Monk before, but
I haven't.
yeah.
The greatest moment in Oscars. You're kind of right, because I used to kind of like to watch the Oscars. It was kind of entertaining, but they became like horrifically uninteresting over the last several years, and no one watches it. Then Will Smith gets up there and bitch slaps Chris Rock, which is pretty fucked up because, I mean, come on. Will Smith is like huge and muscular and probably knows how to box like a motherfucker from playing Muhammad Ali. So what is Chris Rock supposed to do? Like punch back, which would have been awesome.
Yeah, honestly, he should have
Start
just
swinging, motherfucker.
I don't think he knocked him down or anything, though.
No, I just slapped him and
Oh, yeah, that's right. He slapped him.
made him look like a bitch on TV, and that's the big thing.
Chris should have hit him back.
Right? Tackled his ass as he walks away. So I get you, motherfucker.
Right? That'd been hilarious.
They cut to commercial. Like, wait a minute, this is the greatest moment in Oscar history. Like,
Did they cut to commercial?
no, they didn't. But if Chris Rock would have tackled and a fight started,
Oh, maybe, yeah.
then I was like, oh, turn it back on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Chris Rock took that slap like a champ. He didn't even tear up or anything.
Yeah. Would have sued the shit out of old Willie.
D-Man says Cat Williams would have smacked him back. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Cat Williams would have like, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Just gone after him. Oh man, that would have been.
He wouldn't have done it, I don't think, if it was Cat Williams.
That's fair. You think? You don't think Will Smith would have gone up and
No, I think he did it because it
slapped
was.
his wife's name out of Williams' mouth?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know. I just don't think he would have.
Mark Bouchard says insane drawing in the left. Well, thanks. I'm doing a little more complicated stuff over here. Again, as usual, I can't see yours because I got the
Skinwalker is
blocking.
complicated.
What's that?
You don't think my Skinwalker is complicated here, Rob?
No, if you're gonna put it that way, if we're gonna fight over this, let's make it like YouTube worthy. Start slapping at each other.
Yeah, through the phone
Somehow.
somehow. Oh boy. Can you guys hear my fan?
I hear the slightest ticking and tacking in the background, and that's all.
Yeah, that's my stupid fan.
Chuck says my money's on Jess. If we get in a slap fight, he's betting on you to beat my ass.
Here's the problem with a slap fight between Rob and I. I am not quite 5 foot.
Right?
And Rob's like 6'4" or some ridiculous shit.
You got to stretch.
So I'm gonna have to like get a stool or something.
It would be one of those like slap fights, you know, where it's like a contest where you stand at a thing and you get to line up your hand to angle it and one back, take one good punch slap to a guy's face. And have you seen those?
I have not, but I was just thinking it would be like on The Office when Pam gets to hit Michael. That's what.
Oh yeah. That's funny. Antoine Dennison says Robert wrote many Masters of the Universe stories as a child, but not nearly on your level. I mean, I appreciate it. I kind of, the more I go along, and then I kind of look at more Masters of the Universe stuff, and I see other fan comics, and I see actual books, and I'm like, mine doesn't look exactly like, or probably feel like a traditional Masters of the Universe, because I'm not throwing in all the crazy vehicles, and I've kind of almost turned it into like a fantasy superhero kind of story, as opposed to like where it feels exactly like Masters of the Universe, but I made it more interesting to me. And by the time it's done, I think it'll read pretty well as a whole story. And even if it's not completely exact Masters of the Universe, but it's in there.
True.
Chuck says Rob has to fight from his knees to even out the upper body strength. See? would that be okay, Jess? All right, we're gonna slap the shit out of each other. I just have to be on my knees, and you can like run around and kick me in the back of the head.
Yes, I would do that. That sounds
Yeah, you're like, yes, absolutely, yes, please.
great idea, Chuck, for a video, by the way.
I was gonna say, if we video this, this will be the best video on the channel. Watch Rob get his ass beat.
That actually would be great. Let's plan that. Just
Plan that. You're like, I'm gonna get me some like shoes with like spikes in them, like the soccer players wear. I'm gonna kick you in the skull.
then I feel like we get some weird, like, I don't know, fetish stuff going on there. If I had
If it pays out, I'm fine.
What'd you say?
If it pays out, I'm fine with that.
You're okay with that being the case?
Right? Give me a viral video, give me up to 10 million views, and let me get that monetized on my channel, and I'll spread the love around.
Okay, all right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, all right. Call me a whore, but I need cash.
Yeah, no kidding. Me too.
You like tell me about it.
Or if you want to, for, $5, as many
Well,
times as you want.
I
Whatever.
met a prostitute who said she'd do anything for $10. Guess who got his car washed?
Oh my gosh. Yes. That's pretty funny.
She's like, hey, baby, you bored? I'm like, I certainly am. Like, you looking for a good time, baby? I certainly am. I'll do anything for $10. I'm like, will you? Well, fuck off. Wash that car. Vacuum it out. There's a bunch of crap under the seat.
There's a bunch of crap under the seat. I have children. There's gonna be crumbs. Get the vacuum.
There's a chicken nugget that's been under there for 6 months and it's petrified now. It's gross.
Gosh, yes.
Get it out of there. D-Man says he's taking a break from He-Man characters and doing obscure DC Comics characters. And Antoine Dennison says, I'm working on a Thor and MODOK at the moment. Well, that's awesome. MODOK, mental organism designed only for killing. How's that ever been a thing? a legitimate character from the comics. It's like a giant floating head with little stubby arms, and
That's creative.
they did a version of it in that last god awful Ant-Man movie. And by the time that thing showed up, I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. Chuck. I mean, sex workers, he says. Right? Not hookers, sex workers.
Yeah. Put some respect on the name.
Mark Riddell says, I never saw Ant-Man 3. Yeah, I was watching it. Me and the roommate, we turned it on because we like the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to the end of Endgame. And we're like, all right, let's check it out. I like the last Ant-Man movies. And like 20, 30 minutes into it, we're like, and we're done. I'm out. It was just so boring. And that Jonathan Majors situation is not planned out very well for anybody.
What's going on there?
He's the actor that's playing the what was supposed to be the new villain, Kang the Conqueror. And Jonathan Majors, is a pretty damn good actor. You've seen that movie, Devotion? Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's really good. But I think he was in the last Creed movie, but not a fraction as interesting as Thanos was.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's had big legal troubles and he's gotten convicted of beating his wife or something like that. So it all went to shit.
It. Well, that's not good.
Galactus World Eater says, would you do a sketch of Galactus? I could. I'm not at the moment. Not right now. I'm deep into other stuff. But Galactus is a character I've never tried to draw. Because he's a guy you can't just casually do. Like, he's such a complicated design in that helmet. It's awesome, but
True.
yeah, I keep my Disney subscription so I can watch Simpsons and DuckTales.
You're such a nerd.
Shut your whore mouth. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Well, that's fine. It just cost you $5.
Yeah. Chuck saying about that actor Jonathan Major saying he got in trouble. He says, I don't get that though. He's playing a villain. He would be a wife beater, right? See?
That's true. That's a
It all
good point.
lines up.
Maybe he's just a method actor.
Mark says DuckTales is an amazing show. For real. I'm talking about the 80s version. No, there's been at least one other recent ish that I'm not interested in. Antoine says Galactus should eat suns rather than planets. They've got way more nutritional value. That's true. Like, Galactus has to absorb life, so he absorbs planets with life on them. Why not just a star or something like that? But guess he's got his dietary restrictions. There's too much gluten in suns or something like that. So
That doesn't seem factually correct.
you don't know shit about suns. Come on. Tell me one fact about the sun.
It is made of gas.
Right? I always thought they were giant balls of gas burning billions of miles away. Boomba, with you, everything's gas. What movie is that?
Lion King.
Right? I'm going to say you better know that.
I want to hear something. I was not allowed to watch The Lion King as a kid. Nope. That was one of the movies that was on the no list. That and The Little Mermaid.
Mark says Scrooge McDuck is perhaps my favorite Disney IP character. I love Scrooge McDuck. This is going to sound stupid. I'm going to sound like a complete nerd for a minute. But when I was rewatching those DuckTales shows here recently, just the character of Scrooge McDuck and the way he acted and talked, it was kind of like a friend I used to know as a kid and I haven't talked to in a long time. It's just, he was so ingrained in my brain as just this awesome character. And I'm like, oh, it's just so fun to like listen to him again. It's like kind of like a friend, like you used to know. I know that kind of sounds silly, but that's the thing about when you make a good character that connects with you. It's like, this guy makes me happy.
No, I can understand that. That makes sense to me.
Antoine says, I thought the sun was heated plasma. I mean, probably. I don't fucking know. Probably. Mark says, remember when Galactus was a gas monster from that old Fantastic Four movie? Yeah, there was a missed opportunity.
Dude, I was homeschooled. I don't really know what the sun's made out of.
It's made of light and love.
Hey, you know what? Until I was an adult, I thought that Alaska was an island. So, just is what it is. Dude, love.
Like, what do you mean Alaska's just attached to the same landmass? That's stupid.
My husband literally said to me, he was dating me, said something about driving to Alaska. I said, you can't drive to Alaska.
You did not.
I did.
This is when you were dating him, Jessica. This is in the last 14 years.
Dude, I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know. Growing up, I was homeschooled, and we had these placemats that had the United States on it. And because it couldn't
Yeah,
fit Alaska and Hawaii on it, they were in little squares off to the side.
yeah.
Well,
Hawaii, Alaska.
I thought Alaska was an island. Like, no shit. And my sister did too. So I wasn't the only one. I'm telling you, my homeschooling failed me.
Oh, Jessica, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Seriously, my husband and my sisters, well, they were both boyfriends at the time, were like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? You think that you thought this whole time, like, have you not seen a globe?
Chuck says, not silly at all. Every time I want to time travel and pull out that Burn Fantastic Four Artist Edition, I'm 12 years old again. Seriously, like, yeah, like that's the thing about that's one of the reasons I kind of like doing this channel is get to dig out all these old comics and revisit them. I know I shit on a lot of them, but it's just because adult me is like looking at the story, but still,
That's because it's your channel.
it is my channel. I can do what I want.
You can do what you want.
I need to get a script.
Yeah. You don't have to tell us it's your channel, though, Rob.
Or say that just as a joke. That other guy took that really seriously. That guy that was insulting me because I was no good at what I do.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. You really, I have never, ever felt like spending that much time leaving a comment on a YouTube video.
Right. Chuck says, I met a girl once that thought she could breathe through her ears. Wow. You're like, all right, well, hold your breath. She plugs her ears.
Rob, you snorted.
I thought my joke was funny. It was great.
Oh my gosh, that made me laugh. Oh boy.
Dan says, chicken of the sea. Is chicken?
Oh my gosh.
The metaphor, Dan. It's a metaphor. The chicken of the sea means funny, man.
Yes.
Jonathan says, my wife, the wife of a friend of mine, called him when we were out at the bar once to settle a debate between her and her friends. Which is bigger, the earth or the moon? His wife was on the moon side.
What the hell? Okay, all right. I don't know if I feel stupider now because clearly these people were stupid, but
Oh, man.
I don't know. It happens, stuff escapes you.
I guess.
You disagree with me, Rob.
I'm not saying I know everything.
Oh,
I know
yes. Now I'm going
not an
to
island.
the slap video. We're doing it. We're doing the slap video.
We'll just highlight, watch Rob get bitch slapped, and people will tune in.
Especially that one dude that thinks you need to be bitch slapped. So
Wait, what?
the guy who doesn't like your channel.
Yeah. That's all right. They don't respond. They just go about their way after leaving what they think is a wicked sweet burn.
Yeah. True. It's true.
Like, I totally got him. I told him that he sucks and he's no good at what he does. He's gonna go home and cry. And he's right, I did.
You did cry, I know, but
That was a private conversation between me. You weren't supposed to tell anybody I cried.
sorry, he did not cry.
Right, good save.
Mm.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this panel one, but I might just move on to a new page and start getting the rough started on the next page. I do that because I work on so many pages at a time. I do them in batches, and sometimes my thumbnail for what I wanted to do on the small little thumbnails like these things right here.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I get to the final page, I'm like, the flow doesn't work. That's not what I wanted. So I have to rethink the panel that I was going to do. I'm like, I'll just move on. It'll occur to me later. The point for me is just to keep moving. Like Dory,
Yeah.
just keep swimming. Because, like I said, I do them in big batches. And like, this is a scene. Here's 5 pages or 5 or 6 pages. And if I can't get a panel figured out right now, I'll come back to it later because I know something will occur to me later eventually.
Right.
So rather than stopping and sitting on this one panel, like I know some buddies of mine who are like, I can't move forward because I can't figure out this one thing. I'm like, then move on. Just keep going. You don't have to have this figured out. Like,
But they feel like they've got to do it in order?
yeah, like
Interesting.
just keep going. You'll get to it. I promise. It just move on. If you got more to do, don't get hung up on the name of a thing or something like that. Just keep flapping them arms, keep kicking them legs, keep moving, get work done, and then it'll just start coming to you. That's my opinion, and I don't know anything, so don't listen to me, but that's my opinion.
Daniel Goodwin says, speaking of the Jim Lee comment, I need to file my own complaint. Uh-oh. Your love of the Mojo verse need to improve.
See, I know D-Man he said that. I gotta be the Mojo verse. I mean, again, I didn't read the original run of it. I understand, but I'm not. Yeah, it's not my favorite thing. So again, I understand people dig it. They should. You love what you love, but that version. I mean, we got to admit that version of the Mojo verse that I did that video on was not like a good version of any damn thing, right? Like I think we could all probably agree on that. It's probably a pale version of the original source material of that concept in the comics. Antoine Dennison, I'm going to pick up an Epson to print out my layouts as blue lines. I waste too much paper figure out composition. That sounds like a good idea. You get a printer so you can, print out your blue lines. And I get that as a process to get your pages going. If you can do that, that's definitely a way to go. Someone says, I made it to high school before I learned that soap doesn't come from soapstone. I had seen an episode of Fraggle Rock where the Fraggles have to go looking for soapstone to do their laundry. I grew up believing it because no one told me otherwise.
Thank you.
I mean, why would you not know? just like, oh, how else do you want what's just what I know? Oh,
That's actually great.
soapstone. Chuck says that keep moving thing is spot on, Rob. Keep the momentum will help you solve problems on the fly. I mean, that's what I've discovered on my own because I've found the dedication in me to like create this stupid book, and I'm like, I got to keep going. I can't figure this out right now. Set it aside. Something will come up later, and because you're usually always lost in thought about it. And eventually, like I've had scenes in mind where I'm like, I'm gonna do this, but then later I'm like, oh no, this, oh no, do this. Just it things occur to you as you go, but just keep creating, keep going. Goodwin says the Mojo verse. It was TV back then. It'd be social media nowadays, for real. Oh shit, Jess! I just realized what you're doing. I haven't seen that thing in forever.
Yeah, me either. I pulled it out the other night, or last night, I guess, technically speaking. I thought, oh, I never finished this. Like, most of my stuff is never finished.
That's that painting you're doing that was a drawing of mine that was referenced from another friend of mine.
Yes, Robbie, now what was your drawing? You don't need to tell everybody,
Oh my god! You know what?
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Yes, I found this drawing you did, and it was a friend of yours, like you just stated. And I decided to try to paint it, and then I never finished it.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut from now on.
You should, because you keep repeating yourself.
Like finally.
I'm just teasing you. I hope you know that.
Jimmy Reyes art. Hey man, how are you? Catch us live. You catch us kind of probably at what getting close-ish to the end because we usually 2 hours tends to be our
Yeah. So say I
close to
have to jump off here pretty soon.
because we choose an odd time to do these.
This week, maybe 10 o'clock.
Well, that'll be Instagram because that's the only way we can get four of us on there. But
Oh,
I think a regular kind of late Saturday thing is in the works.
that's what I say.
You know what, D Man? I need to make you a mod. I'm gonna just do that. I'm gonna make D Man a moderator, and he can. Because if we remember, last Saturday's live stream captured all the weird goofball children's late at night.
Oh my gosh.
You remember all that?
That was so weird. I was like,
Yeah.
how come you're jumping in with the first thing? I'm 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Courtney, where is your parents?
Hey, Courtney's so great.
I was laughing. Like, my thoughts exactly. Someone needs to get the kids.
But Jimmy Reyes, if anyone hasn't gone and checked out his stuff, go look at his work. Holy crap. I mean, I want to see if he knows what he's doing for real.
What's he on? What are you on?
He's just got a YouTube channel here, and I think you're Jimmy, aren't you pushing you got a crowdfunder going? Did I see that correctly? For a book that you're working on?
That's pretty cool. Oh, those are looking good.
Yeah,
We're just starting them.
my rough, sketchy stuff.
I mean, it looks better than like half my finished stuff. Probably more than half my finished stuff. So
Oh yeah, Chuck saying Dragon Rage. Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. Sorry, not to. But yeah, Jimmy's a really good artist. Like really good.
that's cool. I'll have to check him out.
That's one of the things I like about the channel is like not just like attracting like the comic reading crowd, it's the comic art crowd too, you know. The people who like to create and make stuff as opposed to just reading comics. D-Man says he's watching Mystery Science Theater 3000. That stuff is great. Though the only one I really enjoy is that the movie, the This Island Earth. Man, that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Now I want to watch it. Best show ever made, Jonathan says.
Like now, I will be watching that.
I might actually when we get dinner. I might go grab me something for dinner and go sit down and turn it on and have a good chuckle.
What you doing for dinner?
I don't know, whatever the hell's in my kitchen, which is
You act like that every time, but then you're like, I'm making some amazing steak.
yeah, but I don't have any in my fridge to go cook, so but I can make a pretty wicked steak, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
And I send it to you just to make you a picture of it, just to make you mad.
Yeah, it does make me mad sometimes.
Like, you son of a fuck.
Like, okay, I see. You're making steak again.
Steaks and vegetables and deliciousness and
Although I've been cooking more lately. Just not steak.
yeah,
To be fair though, it cost me a shit ton to feed my entire family steak.
that's true.
Although they would love it.
Did you say your husband can't eat that stuff because he can't digest it very well?
Yeah, so like he can't have a lot of red meat. But my kids, I mean, they'll go nuts over it. But yeah, he's got liver disease. So, I tend to say cut back on that stuff. More like fish. Not really much meat at all, honestly. Yeah, no, because of it, he's really skinny. As opposed to me, who can still eat that stuff. So
But do you?
I actually do.
I'm not trying to call you out.
I, especially since I got pregnant, I feel like I always want red meat all the time. Obviously, I'm not pregnant now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Also, a 24/7 live stream here on YouTube right now on the official. Oh, I think I missed something. The best show. Oh, I see. You're talking about that free science theater. Okay. Interesting. Well, I might jump off here.
Yeah.
Speaking of dinner, I'll see. I'm actually pretty sure that I don't have to make dinner tonight. I think he's already made it for them. He said he was going to, so that's nice. But
Nice. We
yeah,
have been going for a minute, so
yeah.
almost 2.5 hours.
I feel like weirdly enough, it's almost easier for me to stay on more if we do the late night ones, just
Yeah.
because like asleep.
Well, for anybody who's listening and cares and can, we're going to do a Instagram one this Saturday because the YouTube ones here, I can only bring on one person at a time, and I don't have any other setup yet. But Instagram, I think I could get up to 4 people. Um, so I'm trying to get. I mean, it's me and Jessica, obviously, but I have my brother, and if Courtney can make it, so we're gonna have Courtney on there. So all 4 of us like live and drawing and.
What time will that be?
Didn't we? I think we were kind of thinking 10 o'clock. I believe was the same thing, like
Oh,
later at night, because like my brother was saying, he gets the opportunity for his little 1-year-old kid to be asleep,
yep.
and probably the same for you. Get your children hopefully out.
Yeah, I mean my older kids, they'll. Last time though, they weren't even asleep, so I don't. That was weird. But yeah, no, I think 10 would work great.
Yeah,
Myself.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun because I want to get my brother on there because I like having him on all the time anyway because he's a.
Now, if Courtney's still sick, do you still want to do it, or do you
Oh,
want to put
totally.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Also, I'm going to mail you your stuff tomorrow. I ordered these giant mailers, so it should fit your painting and stuff. So
The skull painting.
yes, yes, and I actually sealed it.
I saw, yeah, on one of those videos you put up.
I
Oh,
didn't do the video of me sealing this one, but yeah, this one
yeah.
send in to you.
Look at
So
that shit here. That looks so. I think it looks great. I'm so glad you're sending that to me. I am unworthy, but I will 100% take it from you.
oh stop. I think this is really my I really think, although I'm trying to branch out, as you see, I'm not the best at, I feel like setting out and sketching out things and doing inking. I really think my forte is in skull art and painting, but I am trying really hard to branch out a little bit.
I think you do it really well. I mean, you can have a thing and have it be skull art. That looks amazing. I love it.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you like it. I will send it out. Yeah, I'll get it sent out tomorrow. And
I will probably do a video on it.
what? That would be awesome.
Right. Mr. Green with the Mr. Green in the study with the pencil has a process question. How do you digitize your pages? If you're talking to me, um, I just have to take all my physical pages and I just take them to. I have to get them scanned. So I have a friend, Richard, who his job. He has a giant scanner access to where he works. So last time I took like 130 pages up there, and we just sat down and like filmed videos looking at some of his artist editions while he was just scanning pages, and it only took us not it wouldn't take us very long. And then if I do a couple on my own, I just go to the local FedEx shop where I can scan artwork because I don't have one, I don't own one, and if I do purchase one, I want to get an 11 by 17 scanner. I don't want to like be piecing shit together, so
Yeah.
I just have to scan stuff.
Well, now I don't know. I don't know that much about it, but I know you can get like I think they're like a wand of some type that are like long, and then you just go over it, and then it scans it to your computer.
I've seen those. I don't know how good they are.
There.
Mr. Green, you say you went to Office Max and they said $5 a page. So I don't know about Office Max, but I go to the local FedEx place here, and there's a self-serve machine. There's like a copy machine off to the side. There's 2 of them, and you have to go in and you have to put your credit card in, and you choose your settings on it, um, where you're like because they're black and white artwork, but I choose full color because if you choose black and white, it just reduces everything to hard blacks and hard whites, and you start losing stuff. So if I copy it in color at the highest resolution, and I could do several pages for less than $2 or $3. It's a single page is like less than 50 cents a scan at the FedEx shop. It's just you have to do it on your own. You bring a jump drive And I just walk up to it and I just choose all the settings, like click, 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 put in my credit card and scan them and then save it to a jump drive. And it's pretty cheap. It's not $5. I mean, it's one thing if you hand it to the staff, because then it becomes hands on. They're like, oh, if I have to touch it and I have to take it back, it becomes a job and they charge you through your ass for that. So there's a
Yeah.
machine there where you can scan it on your own, do that. You might have to have them show you how to do it. That's how I do it.
Yeah, that page is looking good already. You just started it. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I'm impressive and fast, which is a phrase I don't usually say, but I get my shit done. But yeah, Jess, like they were saying, skull artwork from you is a way to go. You nail it, and your paintings of them are always good. So I say,
Thanks.
if you were to lean into that and make it like your brand, I think it would work.
Yeah, I know. I want to branch out and do more, and like I've been asked. I've got to work on this. In fact, on Saturday, I'm doing the thumbnails as suggested. I believe by Mark, I think, who got shadow banned.
Oh yeah, to
I'm
keep the story flow in mind.
Yeah, and I'm gonna sit down and actually try. I mean, we'll see how it turns out. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. If you don't like it, you can always go with someone else. I just, you know. But yes, I agree. I really like, and I think I enjoy doing it. So that's probably why it works out so well. But
Yeah, it's one of those where you enjoy it and it comes out well, but because it comes out well, you enjoy it, so then you keep doing it. And
that's true. Yep. Man, that face, and who is that face? Is that
it's
jujitsu?
jitsu, yeah,
Jitsu.
yeah.
Okay.
Because he's practicing. If you read my last book, I don't know if you got to the part where he was gifted that weapon, the liquid metal weapon on his hand. Uh,
Okay. Okay. Oh
he's like
yes.
he's learning how to use it. It's mentally controlled. So this is a page showing him like controlling it and learning to focus and use it. And I needed an intent. I kind of like the way. I mean, I'm not trying to kiss my own ass, but very rarely do I do a drawing. I'm like, I kind of like the way this looked at. This kind of came out. I kind of like this face.
Yeah.
Mr. D-Man says that your painting there, that girl looks like the actress Jamie Gertz, which I can see. I don't know if you know who she is.
I don't recognize the name.
Have you ever seen Twister, the tornado movie back in the day?
Yes, I've
You
seen
remember
that.
the annoying wife of the main character or the fiance?
Oh wow, yes. I vaguely remember.
She's pretty cute, pretty hot, so it's not a bad thing at all.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad it resembles somebody, a person.
Right?
No, that's great though. I'm excited to see how these all turn out. How far would you say you are as far as your sketches go? Like
Oh,
halfway through?
to finishing the book?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a chunk. I got a
Yeah.
ways to go. They're not going to be terribly complicated, and I'm like, I don't want to compromise my intention to draw it the way I want to, just to shorten it up, just to get it done.
Yeah.
I want to tell it the way I want to tell it. I mean, it's basically a bunch of big fighting scenes going on to wrap up the whole story. So it shouldn't be complicated, but it could be. It's a lot of pages. I think I counted. I've got 40 done for book 3. It could be another 80. I might be
Oh
one third of the
shit.
way there.
Bird.
But it's a bunch. It's like all the main characters, heroes and villains, doing their final battles, and creatures coming up from hell and fighting and blood and guts, and then the wrap up to the story. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to compromise how I want to finish it up. So I don't know.
Looking good.
Dancing. I mean, that's. I mean, it is. Yeah, I'm helping. Yeah, Dan saying your book will go faster with Chuck's help, right? I mean, that's how I'm feeling about it. I'm able to move a little quicker, but I'm also having to spend a little bit more time on my pencils. Rather than I don't just pencil and then I get to skip the inking part. I'm doing more detailed pencils than I would do on my own. So it's a little bit of a, it helps the time a little bit, but not completely. Like it's not like I just increase my speed by 50%. You know what I mean? Because I want to not give him slop. But man, the stuff he's sending us. Dan, were you with us when I was showing some of the pages he just sent or the panels he was working on? Were you here?
Hey, I'm actually gonna jump off here.
Okay, yeah, I know you need to go and you don't want to like rudely just disappear, but
It's been fun. Your stuff looks great. Excited to see it, and it was fun talking to everybody.
yeah, thanks, Jess.
All right, bye.
But yeah, Dan, I don't know if you were here earlier when we were Chuck just sent me these during the live stream, but if they're coming through clear, I mean, he just adds this whole other level to it that just like he hasn't inked the face on this one, but the figure and everything. I mean, it looks so damn good. The stuff he's doing, I'm like, holy shit. So I'm trying to. God, I hope he knows how much I respect what he's doing and how grateful I am because this is crazy stuff to me. Like this side profile that he did. I mean, the pencil drawing that I did, I was reasonably happy with. I thought it looked good, but he just took it to that level that it just needed. Anyway. Yeah, Dan, he's he's just so good. It's crazy. It's I've had several benefits of doing the YouTube channel, meeting several of you guys who are kind of the regulars, you know, Dan, D-Man, someone saying Mark, just, you know, and kind of making these acquaintances and all that stuff. But and some of the indie comic work I've been exposed to and got to share. But I mean, having Chuck show up and ask me to like I didn't ask him, he asked me. Like it's the greatest like compliment I could ever get, you know? But it's also pushing me to want to be better. Blue Iguro, how's it going? Yeah, I'm about to be needing to. Oh, Chuck, don't say shit like that. You're going to make me get all weepy. I'm going to cry like a little bitch. And I'll do it on camera, and my tears will fall on my pages. Like, you complete me. Yeah, I think I got to wrap it up too. I got to get me some dinner and some things like that. But it's been super fun, everybody. As always, thank you so much. It's been a fun get together as always. And like I said, we're going to try and do one on Instagram if, for those of you who could make the Instagram one, just because we can do 4 of us at the same time, just for chuckles. And it's going to be 10 p.m. Mountain time. So I know that's late, but Yeah. So anybody can join us. I'll put up an announcement, but we're going to try a 10 p.m. Instagram one. Oh yeah, Dan, that I can't wait to see. Yes. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. I'll 100%. I'll be printing that out and sharing it. Like anytime I can share artwork on the channel, we're going to be seeing that. So, anyway, thank you everybody, and see you next time.